Okay, we always welcome you. Welcome back to another episode and installment. Welcome back to another episode of the Let Us Become Sharper / Thursday Night Society podcast. We've been at this for a nice little while now, and it's something that we love to do, something that I definitely love to do, and I love to see you guys here to become sharper. I have today with me, who I always love to have with me, the wonderful Delana.
Hello, hello.
She's beautiful, isn't she? Got wonderful, beautiful Delana sitting here, and my name is CJ. Let us become sharper. The goal is to become sharper at all times. So we're coming in today with another podcast, another installment, another episode, what have you, of a show that I'm very, very proud of. Very glad to be here. Yes, very glad to be here. So, we get a call early to see if we're gonna do the show, and we talked about the day to make sure that we're on the same page to hook up at the studio and do our show. So I was talking about on one of our previous podcasts, I was talking about dry bones, and I guess it was kind of a cryptic type statement. Uh, Nobody was really feeling, like filling in for me. It was just like me on my own little island. But I want to expand upon that. Dry bones. A lot of you guys out there is dry, waiting on opportunities that aren't coming. And we have to stop doing that. We have to stop waiting on, hoping for, thinking that opportunity and help is coming. And it's not. It's time to start taking and making opportunities for ourselves. That's something that you have to learn how to do in life, creating your own opportunity. I guess they call it being resourceful. That's just a message that I want to put out there, a positive message that I want to add and interject on this evening about dry bones. What I meant by that was nothing. You set up and you're thinking that you're going to have a feast. You think it's going to be festive, but you're not included. There's nothing there for you. A lot of people end up that way. I've seen I speak of this today because I've seen some examples recently of people facing uninclusiveness, people facing, you're not a part of this. You're not a part of the bigger, greater picture. So for everybody out there that's with dry bones, you have to get creative. You have to take those bones and you have to make elaborate structures and build things that people would actually want to see and want to be a part of, although you come from nothing. So that's just something I want to put out there real quick. We're talking about CJ's hospitality program. I hope that locally, not globally just yet, but locally, a lot of people have been receiving their positive affirmations to their cell phones. Hospitality program, union meets beautiful unison. There's a positive affirmation that comes to your phone that we actually sit down in a think tank and create, and we send it to you as a message. You also receive a very personal message in the hospitality program. One aspect of the game is hospitality, something that has been really, really erased. Really not paying too much attention to hospitality these days. Even when you go to businesses and service providers, the hospitality just isn't there. So we're trying to get back to it, and I made it a new venture of mine to increase and expound upon the hospitality industry. We're talking about Thursday Night Society, TNS, the Thursday Nights TNS Raffle Exchange. That's held at the actual shop. And we have a few, the next one coming up is going to be this Thursday coming up at 7 p.m. And we have a list of, I'm not going to speak on that, but we have a list of prizes that we're going to have listed at the shop. I encourage many people to come by or check on my pages to see what we got put up for you. And for those who don't win the big prizes, you're still included at our event that is at an undisclosed location. We really some sweet guys. We got some things going on that you just can't mess with. We're getting back to the wonderful Delaney here. I brought her out tonight because I needed somebody, my ride or die with me. I needed her here tonight
Oh.
because I heard some things that her and Sabrina had said that I didn't like. No, Sabrina's not here. No, Nina and Shay is not here. But the wonderful Delana is here. So that means we have to talk about this.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I'm not calling you to the front. I'm not calling you out, but we got to talk about this. We got to get this started. Sabrina, if you're out there, we would like to welcome you back. Your chair is right here. We need you to report front and center. Yeah, we need you back because you said some things that I'm not going to say if I liked them or not, but I did not like. And they were not addressed. So with that being said, let's get straight to it. I ain't got time to wait no more. Yeah, I ain't got time to wait no more. I spoke on it. I gave it as much as an intro as I could give. Now, we're talking about happiness. And that's a very, very important, very, very important emotion. That's a very, very important feeling. We're talking about happiness. But Sabrina and yourself, yeah, you too. You both said this.
I'm trying to get to the part of what you gonna tell me what to say.
Yeah.
I say a lot.
In times when you're unhappy, y'all was speaking about happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And you said if someone is not doing what they're supposed to do, you drop them and move on to the next. That's what y'all said. So I asked the topic of today's show, should you remain loyal even though you're unhappy? Should you remain loyal? Should you ride even if you're unhappy? Now, when I was talking to you two, I don't know if if it was the wine, I don't know what it was. But you two said that once a person stopped making you feel good and stopped doing what it is that they could do, were capable of doing, said it's time to move on to the next. Now, Sabrina not here, but I'm really on her. She the one who signed it a little bit more than you.
That's a little paraphrasing, but okay.
Wait a minute. What you mean by paraphrase? What are you talking about? I'm not paraphrasing. I'm gonna pull up the clip.
Oh, we can pull it up.
I'm going to. See,
this is the thing.
You thinking that you're allowing me to pull up the clip? Oh, I'm going to.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to pull up the clip. I edit this show. Boom! I'm gonna put the clip right there where y'all openly said.
I said if they're not doing what they're supposed to do anymore, and I'm not happy with them, why am I staying? Why? No,
because it's loyalty. Because they roll with you.
Loyalty is not everything. So I'm just supposed to be miserable, unhappy, but loyal to this person. You know who was loyal and miserable and probably unhappy? I heard this on something I was watching the other day. The reason why women back in the day, generation before ours, or even before that, I'm gonna say before that, I'm gonna say my grandparents' generation. The reason why those women stayed and they were loyal to those men is because they couldn't even get home loans and credit cards and bank accounts in their own freaking names. They stayed because they had to. And then when you could, it's like when you could do all those things, they still stuck around. And then as another generation came about, we decided, why am I going to be unhappy just to be loyal to somebody? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense.
In the day when you couldn't do X, Y, and Z, the things that you just stated, when you couldn't get a home loan or you didn't have the power to as a woman, right?
Correct.
Didn't you still have a place to stay?
That's what I'm saying. They stayed because they had to.
But stayed where? Where did you stay?
They stayed with their husbands or
that
partners.
The husband still provided to you when you couldn't get it for yourself.
And I'm not saying that they didn't, but why do I have to stay and be unhappy? I ain't got to stay and be unhappy no more. I can get it myself. I'm not saying that I would prefer to, but I can.
You can get it now, but when you couldn't get it, I rolled for you. I made sure that you had it. And now that you get on your feet,
It's not
you're not loyal.
if you're not happy with a person. I mean, I never understood this, and I say this all the time. Why would you be with somebody and be miserable and unhappy? We only get one of these.
And just to clarify, just to become sharper, you mean one life?
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask. Let me ask this. So we gonna name this one. It's clearly that we gonna name this one happiness or loyalty. Happiness or loyalty. So she's saying that if you're not happy, then you should. Why would you live unhappy? You should just go ahead on and get up out of there. No matter what ramifications took place before you felt that way. Uh, this is tough
Because
for
an
me.
unhappy person will start to resent the other person.
Are you sure?
If they that unhappy, if I'm that unhappy,
But all you knew before, I'm not talking about you personally. I'm just
mhm,
all you knew before was oppression. You weren't allowed to have these things for yourself, and I still held you down. So
and
now
I'm
that
just miserable here with the kids, and
oh no,
now the kids is gone off, and I'm
you
just
miserable
still
here with your
here.
kids?
No, not miserable with the kids. The kids was gone now. We'll say the kids gone now. It's just
Okay,
me and you, and I'm just really miserable now and unhappy.
that's what keeps love. That shows if it's real love when there's no kids.
That do.
Now you're gonna see. Now we
That's
gonna
when you
see
see
if
the
yeah,
true
love.
partnership.
Yeah, let's see what's going on when there ain't no kids involved.
Hmm.
Because while it's kids involved, we there for the family. So and I need Sabrina. So what you're telling me now is you your loyalty is trumped by your happiness. Your happiness is the thing. If you unhappy, you got to do something different, right?
Have to.
All right. So to answer my question of the topic, to address the topic, which is uh happiness or loyalty, if you are in a scenario where should you remain loyal even if you're unhappy. Yeah, she answered that. She answered the question. She answered honestly, clearly. She says that I have to be happy, and everything else is out the window because is happiness the key to life?
It is.
To be happy?
Yes. For one, another person can't make you happy. But
That's not true.
if you're in a situation where you're trying to be happy but this person doesn't contribute to it, then yeah, you do become unhappy.
I don't believe that. That's
That's like you can't let I'll say you can't let someone control your happiness.
okay.
And that's
Yeah,
staying with them.
yeah, control. But to touch what you said, we had a previous podcast about this. I didn't agree with anybody on the panel. I need to
Mhm.
put these old clips up. I believe that another person can come into your life and make you happy, even if you're unhappy. I believe people have that power to come into your life in your state of unhappiness and make you happy. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. I'm a firm believer.
I do believe people can come into your life and you become happy. Yes.
No,
I
that's not what I said.
said no, that's what you said. I'm just saying
No, that's not what I said.
I know that
You
I
said
know what
become
you
happy.
said.
I said they could come into your life and make you happy.
Yeah, that's what
You
you
said
said.
become happy.
Become happy. Like okay,
See, you
some
always putting a spin on.
no, because it goes back to you making like no other person can be responsible for making you happy.
They can. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that a person can be responsible for making me
And
happy.
I don't think that. I mean, I'm
Yeah, of
not
course
saying
you
that
don't.
people won't contribute to it
No, I
or
ain't talking
help
about
it.
contribute. I'm talking about make.
Because if I am a
Totally
miserable,
turn you around. Totally change your perspective.
that's a little different.
I've had people.
They make you see things differently, and that can
No,
make you
no, I
happy.
ain't seeing things differently. I'm talking about some. I was unhappy, and when this person came into my life, I was happy. I've had that happen before. So yeah, I mean, that's just a side note. But we're talking about loyalty versus happiness. Happiness is the key if you're happy in life. How many people out there, how many of you believe that happiness is the cornerstone or the key to life? The goal in life is to be happy. I guess like the pursuit of happiness, like the
Mm-hmm.
movie. Okay, so that's what you believe in. On this topic, I want to say this. I don't no. I don't believe that just because a person underperforms, because it can happen on a whim, right? It can happen out of the blue. I mean, you're one disaster away, right?
Well, I'm not saying one. Okay, so when I say unhappy, it's probably been a series of things that has led to this. It's not just, oh, I woke up this morning and said, I'm unhappy. No, it's more than likely it's a series of things that have happened that has led to being unhappy
Yeah,
and wanting to be not with this person
but I'm just
anymore.
talking about gray skies versus the blue skies, the beautiful skies.
You gonna have those.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this is how it's gonna be from now on, seemingly. But you remember when it was good.
Hmm.
We were on the bright side. Now we on the dark side. Do you still ride? You was once on the bright side. Now you're on the dark side. Do you still ride? Yeah. That
Huh?
that that was powerful what I just said.
If you if you can see getting back to the light side,
That was
then you can ride through
hey,
it.
that was
You
powerful.
can ride
We
through
went
it.
on the bright side. Now
Now
we
you're
on
on
the
the dark
dark
side.
side. Do you still ride? That
And we can ride back to the light.
was- no, we
Mm.
no. We were once on the bright side.
And then the rest is just supposed to we just in the dark.
Yes, I give an example.
The
Rocky. I
rest.
give an example. Rocky. I think Rocky 5.
I stopped watching Rocky after a certain. It's too much after
No,
too
I think I
many.
was watching Rocky 6. One of
What?
them, yeah,
No.
one of them, he had to move back to the hood. Rocky was right. Of course, he beat Ivan Drago. He was
Mhm.
on top of the world. The world champion. And Paulie, the brother, Paulie had made some financial mistakes and some investments without Rocky's knowing. They lost all their money, and they had to move back to that same hood in Philadelphia where he come from. He put the same outfit back on. He had the same leather, the same hat. He's walking down the same streets. Now
Mhm.
Adrienne still rolled. Now clearly she back on the dark side because
Well,
she was working in the pet shop. She had come accustomed to a lifestyle because Rocky had moved to the bright side.
but they had to remember they started on the dark side.
No, it don't matter where you started. I'm talking about
So
some. Once you listen, my old man taught me a lesson very, very young. Once you have had the whole pie, you can't take a slice. That's like you're used to going in the morning and having. You can't regress once you have tasted a certain level of success. But Adrian still rolled with him because she cared about the loyalty and all they had been through. No different than Precious B on Ray. Ray had all of the music and but
mhm.
Precious B just cared about him. She wasn't worried about because
She
they was on
stayed
the
through all the
yeah, but they
crap.
was on the dark side when he was on the road and the drugs,
Hmm.
and then he was and then he had Charles Jr.
The other
I know
women.
about him. I know about him. His name Charles Jr.
Hmm.
I know. She's
And she
and
stayed.
to top it off, you blind.
And she stayed.
She stayed. So I ask again, not just to you personally,
Hmm.
but to you figuratively, Sabrina, and I ask all of you out there, when it's loyal and when it's on the bright side, that's beautiful. We on the bright side. We talk about lollipops, gumdrops, rainbows. The beautiful fireplace. It's bearskin rugs is beautiful. We got
Hmm.
money. We got peace. But when it goes to the dark side, do you still remain loyal? Do you still stay when I'm no longer who I once was. That's something
Mm.
for y'all. That's something for y'all out there to ponder. Delaney has stated her opinion. My opinion, to complete it. Yes, I'm riding because I know that the journey is paved with gold, and the value of loyalty, which I do not believe in. We'll touch that later. I
Mhm.
don't believe in that. Don't get this confused on just because it's the topic. I just know what I know.
Mhm.
Loyalty, I feel, is an expectation. I don't have expectations. I know what I know. I know that, and I knew who was getting out of the car when it was time to go, and that I knew that Trey had to get out and everything. I know who getting out the car, so it was no surprise when you say pull over, let me out. I know who gonna ride, and that's just how I would rather have that. But we just using loyalty for an
Mhm.
example here in the topic. I feel that I'm going to stick around for the beautiful side, and I'm going to stick around when she can no longer serve me. Let's put it into an example. She can
Mhm.
no longer serve me, but I'm used to being served. But now you can't do what you once did before. I'm still going to stay with you even in my unhappiness because
Mhm.
I'm going to take the full 360 degrees makes circumference. I'm going to take the full circumference of the task at hand. So now we was on the
Mhm.
bright side, but now we on the dark side. I'm still gonna ride.
Cause you make it back to the light. The see,
See, no,
I
that
look at
that's not why I'm riding.
this is not a great thing. Just before you
I didn't
even,
say that.
I'm just before
And
I
that, and
say
that,
that this is not a great thing.
and just for the record,
So
I don't care if we ever make it back to the bright side. I'm riding.
if most people, if when they're like that,
Yeah, Sabrina,
they're not
I really
they're
want you.
not necessarily unhappy.
No, I'm talking about I'm unhappy. I'm telling you from my personal opinion. I'm unhappy, and I could very well let this go. I'm still not going to do it because it's just a B thing. I
Mhm.
believe in totality. I believe in the yin and the yang. I believe in duality, uh,
Mhm.
balance. I believe in those things. I really do. And I feel that there's a reason for the bright side, and there's also a reason for the dark side. I want to interject something that's relevancy to the topic. A gambler, a true gambler, won't stop gambling, win or lose. The gambler, of course, who doesn't want to win? Who doesn't want to win? Of course, it's
Of
common
course,
sense.
yeah, everybody want to win.
But even in a loss, the gambler still finds some kind of enjoyment in there because that's why they got that number we call the number on the back because it's a sickness. Now we're
Hmm.
not gonna we're not gonna pair or we're not going to liken uh ride or die to sickness to that level, but there is a similarity from someone who enjoys or willing to endure happiness as well as unhappiness. And now at the end, I will give you that in hopes to get back to the bright side.
Yeah, if I can see some light at the end of that tunnel, then no, I wouldn't leave. But I'm at the point right now. If I'm leaving and if I'm done, I see nothing.
Yeah, I'm still saying when I see when I
I
see
see
not
nothing.
when I see
Like a
zero,
black hole.
yeah, when I see
Just a
zero,
black hole.
I'm still saying I don't see anything. This is over with. I'm still going to stay because I remember who you once were. I remember, and I would like that same curse is talking about the golden rule. I would like for you to also remember who I once was. So to our supporters, our people out there, we
Hmm.
want y'all. Yeah, this ain't over.
Nah.
This ain't hardly over. You all you got from this is two opinions. This ain't over. So y'all take this one. When you are unhappy and you are on the dark side, do you still ride? Versus when someone is happy and we living in good times, of course you're gonna stick around. But when that person can no longer serve you, when that person is no longer on the bright side of life, When that person is no longer up, but the chips are down, do you stick around? These are the questions that we ask. This is the topic for the night. A very interesting one that I took, that I found close to my heart to come in and do this topic on the podcast in hopes to become sharper. Y'all smoke that one over amongst yourselves and see what that topic really does. When a person is no longer has anything to offer, do you still ride with that person? To our supporters, all cash is verified. We say this, and in the what it means is anything coming in or anything going out is verified. As far as the cash, respect my cho, respect my dough. As far as the people who support this podcast, we picking up. Like I always like to state, I document and I take note of every little thing. So as we grow with the podcast, as we get better and better, more episodes, we thank you for your support, for all my personal supporters, the people who just support me. You guys have been doing an overly abundant job. You've been really, really taking care of me, Swell, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you do. I thank you so much. Like I say, y'all go over this one, because this one really, I don't know why I felt this one so sincerely, but I did. When a person no longer has anything to offer, they can no longer service you, you're no longer happy, and you don't see happiness no time soon, but you once were loyal, your day ones, your true people, do you continue to ride with these people, or is your happiness the priority and you have to live for that and go and get your happiness? Which one is it? Now, we got two different answers, but these aren't conflicting answers. This is just her view, opinion. This is my view and opinion. And we really, really wish Sabrina's here, because she's the original. I'm going to kind of cut her in. She was the original one who kind of, gave a strong opinion about this. Happiness or loyalty. My happiness is at risk. My happiness is at stake. So with that being said, I have to live for that. I have to live for that. I can't be living my life unhappy, waking up every day, every night, fire and brimstone, darknesses, and I'm not seeing the potential and the full value of a fruitful and peaceful life and a bright life. I'm not seeing that. Or do you ride in the darkness where say you really don't have nothing to offer, but I'm gonna stick around anyway?
I don't. It's There's a movie. I think it's called Alchemy. It's a Tyler Perry movie, and her husband, it was Taraji P Henson, was the main character, and she was married, and her husband was like an inventor, and he had this battery, and that's all day and night. That's all he worked on for years and years and years. They were broke.
She didn't ride
the whole thing. She stayed with him from years and years, like through all of that. Yeah, she stayed with him.
The name of that movie is called Acrimony.
Acrimony, yeah. So
she didn't ride. She only rode partially.
She rode most of that's my point. It's like she rode
partially
most of the way, and as soon as she got off the ride, then he blew up.
Because you got to ride completely. That's what I was saying about totality. That was my logic on totality. Even when you're down, CJ will still be around, because I understand the concept of totality. In that movie, she did not ride completely. She rode, and she rode hard, and she rode for years. But in the end,
she should have just. My thing is, she should have let go a long time before she did, because she was unhappy the whole dang on movie.
But look how it turned out. And he ended up with that other woman. Not to tell the movie if y'all haven't seen it.
Yeah.
He ended up with the other woman. Mm-hmm. And then she won the trip. Yeah, well, that's on you.
You should have been left him if you were that unhappy.
See, I never would have left her. If she was the one that had this venture or this idea, and I rode that long.
If I rode that long, I'm gonna have to ride it to the. I might have to ride that one to the end. Like it didn't been this long.
But you said you was.
But I would have left already.
Yeah,
that's the difference. I would have been gone.
Yeah,
already.
See, I never would have left. If I'm riding through happiness and unhappiness. Even if it was my day ones and we was on a certain level and
Mhm.
things change, I'll still be there because I believe in totality. I believe in all facets of the relationship, all facets of life. That's just me. That's a personal thing. So this is not a
Mhm.
conflicting or a contrast in opinion or a contrasting a conflicting topic. This is just an open forum for people to view or voice how they really feel,
Mhm.
how they really wired. I'm not cut like that. I'm gonna ride until the end, and I'm hoping that it's not the bitter end. I'm hoping it's not the bitter end, but I'm gonna ride to the end. Hopefully, it won't be the bitter end or the big one. Hopefully there will be uh, sunlight at the end of the tunnel, as we would say. So we already spoke to our supporters. We want to recap the topic of loyalty to even then when the person can no longer serve you. Do you still stay loyal to them? Do you still ride, or do you have to cut them and say, listen, sadly, I'm waking up every day. I'm not getting nothing I want, nothing I need. I got to move on. That's what was outlined to me when y'all two was talking about that. That's what I
Mhm.
took from that. And the clip is going to definitely prove so. But you're already saying it. You're saying it
Yeah.
openly, like your happiness. So that's a very, very interesting subject matter. Everybody chime in on that. We about to get out of here and go. Where we gonna go? There we gonna go. Gonna go take a couple pictures. I'm gonna take some pictures of you. Uh and to the next time, I guess to the next time y'all out there, be safe. I wish Sabrina was here. I wish she would call. We should call her on the phone. We should get her here. No, we get her next time. Yeah, so
Yeah.
to the next time, like I say out there, stay safe. The weather's breaking. Ain't broke all the way yet, though,
Nice.
but it's getting there. And we're going to have a very, very safe and fun season. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to enjoy life. Be safe out there, but also stay dangerous. Don't just be safe and weak. Be safe, but be strong. Be safe and be on your guard. Taking care of yourselves, taking care of your families, taking care of your loved ones, and taking care of yourself. To the next time we out of here, we say, let us become sharper.
Bye.
They're going to watch that.